Welcome to Visteries. Today I bring you a case that has shaken all of Spain, the case of the Rey del Cachopo, King of the Cachopo. Cesar Roman, known as the Rey del Cachopo, is an enigmatic figure whose life is shrouded in secrets and tragedies. From his humble beginnings to his dramatic downfall, Roman's story is an emotional roller coaster that has left a trail of devastation and mystery. Cesar Roman was born in Madrid in 1975, in a humble neighborhood. From a young age, he showed interest in gastronomy, working in modest kitchens while dreaming of success. Roman studied hospitality, and after several jobs in different restaurants, finally decided to start his own business. Over time, his talent and ambition led him to open several restaurants in Madrid, specializing in the cachopo, a typical Asturian dish. These establishments quickly became popular, attracting a loyal clientele and making Roman a well-known figure in the Madrid gastronomic scene. However, Roman's public image as a successful entrepreneur concealed a much darker reality. His rise in the culinary world was marked by financial and legal problems. Roman was known for his contentious character and his unorthodox business practices. Several employees and business partners began to speak out about his shady dealings, describing him as an ambitious and unscrupulous man who often failed to pay his workers on time and used intimidation tactics. Suspicions about his behavior intensified when, in August 2018, Heidi Paz, his partner, mysteriously disappeared. Heidi Paz was a 25-year-old Honduran woman who had come to Spain in search of a better future. She met Roman and began a relationship with him, but problems soon arose. Friends and family of Heidi noticed changes in her behavior and expressed concern for her well-being. Heidi's disappearance became a mystery that caught the attention of the media and the police. Police investigation quickly focused on Cesar Roman due to his erratic behavior and troubled history. Suspicions were confirmed on August 13, 2018, when police found a human torso in an advanced state of decomposition inside a suitcase in a commercial premises in Usera, a neighborhood in Madrid, linked to Roman. DNA evidence confirmed that the remains belonged to Heidi Paz. The discovery of Heidi Paz's torso in a freezer inside a restaurant managed by Roman was a gruesome find that shocked the nation. Investigators revealed that the body had been dismembered and hidden in an attempt to erase any evidence of the crime. This discovery triggered an intensive search for Roman, who had disappeared after the murder. The Di Roman attempted to evade justice by assuming a false identity. During his flight, he used forged documentation and settled in Zaragoza, where he worked in a restaurant under a false name. However, his past and the constant surveillance by the media and the police made his capture inevitable. He was finally arrested on November 16, 2018, after being recognized by a co-worker who alerted the authorities. His arrest was widely covered by the media and marked the beginning of a judicial process that kept Spain on edge. During the trial, the prosecution presented compelling evidence against Roman. Witnesses testified about his violent and manipulative behavior. Several employees and acquaintances of Roman spoke of his episodes of anger and control, describing a man who could be charming in public but terrifying in private. Additionally, the autopsy revealed that Heidi had been brutally murdered before being dismembered. The cause of death was mechanical asphyxia, and the subsequent dismemberment was a clear attempt by Roman to dispose of the body. Investigators also found text messages and emails that showed a tumultuous relationship between Roman and Heidi. These messages included threats and displays of control by Roman, painting a clear picture of abuse and manipulation. Furthermore, it was discovered that Roman had lied about his financial situation and business success, using money from his restaurants to fund a luxurious lifestyle while accumulating debts. Police also found documents indicating that Roman was involved in several scams and frauds, further complicating his legal situation. The trial revealed other disturbing details about Roman's life. For example, testimonies emerged from women who claimed to have been victims of his manipulation and violence in the past, helping to build a profile of a man with a pattern of abusive behavior. These statements were crucial to the case, as they showed a pattern of violent and controlling behavior that culminated in Heidi's murder. Additionally, during the investigation, it was discovered that Roman had had several previous legal disputes related to business disputes and conflicts with partners. These incidents painted the picture of a person willing to use any means necessary to maintain control and power over others. Roman's financial troubles also came to light, revealing an entrepreneur who was constantly on the brink of bankruptcy and used fraudulent tactics to keep his businesses afloat. The judicial process also included the presentation of detailed forensic evidence demonstrating how Roman had attempted to clean up the crime scene. Investigators found traces of cleaning products and evidence that the place had been carefully disinfected to eliminate any DNA traces. However, Roman's efforts were in vain, as the collected evidence was sufficient to establish a direct connection between him and the crime. The verdict was clear. Cesar Roman was sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of Heidi Paz. The sentence reflected the seriousness of the crime and the cruelty demonstrated. The trial revealed disturbing details about Roman's life and the brutality of his actions, shedding light on an individual who had managed to hide his dark secrets behind a mask of success and respectability. The case of the Rey del Cachopo left a deep mark on public opinion. The brutality of the crime and Roman's attempt to escape justice revealed the capacity of an individual to lead a double life, transitioning from being a successful entrepreneur to being a murderer. The circumstances of his crime and the demonstrated cruelty shook the nation, raising questions about the true nature of evil and the ability to hide it behind a facade of normality. Cesar Roman, the Rey del Cachopo, went from being a figure of success in Spanish gastronomy to being a name associated with one of the most chilling crimes in recent years. His story is a reminder that sometimes evil can hide behind the most deceptive appearances. This case has inspired numerous debates and theories about what really happened behind the scenes. The legacy of the Rey del Cachopo endures as an unresolved enigma, a shadow looming over the collective conscience of a nation. As time passes, it is likely that the story of the Rey del Cachopo will continue to evoke fascination and speculation, fueling the imagination of those fascinated by the darkest mysteries of the human condition. His name will be etched in the annals of Spanish criminal history as a reminder that, even in the modern era, evil can hide behind the mask of the most innocent appearance. In this video, we have thoroughly explored the story of the Rey del Cachopo, from his humble beginnings to his downfall and the lasting impact he has left on Spanish society. Along the way, we've revealed the details of his life, his crimes, and the judicial process that led to his conviction. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to help out by hitting the subscribe button. Leave me ideas in the comment box for what you'd like me to bring to you next. Until next time.